If you are shopping for your first web hosting plan, you are probably staring down thousands of options that all look exactly the same. Look at any comparison page. Every entry-level tier gives you the same 50 gigabytes of SSD storage, unmetered bandwidth, and a one-click WordPress button. Those columns settle nothing. Providers sell beginner-friendly as a colorful dashboard and a guided setup wizard. That helps you on Monday, but it matters very little by month 3. What actually separates a good purchase from a bad one is the cost to undo it. If your site grows, fails, or you just want to leave, you pay what we call an exit cost. Because you are deciding with the least information you will ever have, the right plan isn't the one with the longest feature list. It is the one that lets you be wrong cheaply. To find that plan, you have to look past the day 1 convenience promises and measure the exact friction of leaving on day 90. We can measure that friction using a 1 to 5 scale. Let's call it the lock-in ladder. The highest risk sits at level 5, the domain trap. Almost every first-time buyer registers their domain directly with their new host to get the first-year free deal and avoid configuring DNS records. That single click triggers a mandatory ICANN policy. For the next 60 days, your domain is strictly locked. You cannot transfer it to a competing registrar, even if your new server is terrible. Just below that waiting period is level 4, proprietary control panels. Many hosts build sleek, custom dashboards. They look incredibly modern, but they store your site data in closed, custom formats. Compare that to the industry standard, cPanel. A cPanel account generates a single archive containing your files, databases, and emails, which any other host can import in one click. If you try to leave a proprietary panel, there is no export button. You will spend an entire weekend manually moving files, rebuilding databases by hand, and recreating mailboxes from scratch. Bundled domains and custom interfaces trade your long-term ownership for about an hour of initial setup convenience. Moving down the ladder, we hit the financial commitments at level 3, your billing cycle. That heavily discounted $2 a month price tag on the homepage requires a specific compromise. You only secure that massive 80% discount if you prepay for 36 months up front. If you decide to abandon the project after 6 months, or if your traffic spikes and you have to upgrade your server, you forfeit all those unused prepaid months. You turn a discount into a cash loss. This chart shows the relationship between server cost and traffic capacity. It maps out exactly where free hosting, shared hosting, and VPS plans set, which brings us to the sizing mistake. We call this the overbuy trap. It happens when you purchase a virtual private server, or VPS, for a brand new website that has absolutely zero traffic history. You end up paying a steep premium for server capacity that sits idle, taking on complex security and administration duties you never asked for. Sizing your plan based on a guess means you either lose cash by locking into a 3-year contract or waste hours managing an oversized server. Finally, at the bottom of the ladder is level 1, a mistake that costs $0 to fix but causes the highest number of broken sites. You make the smart move to buy your domain at a separate registrar, but then you forget to point the name servers to your new hosting account. Your website might still load perfectly for a few weeks, hiding the fact that automated background systems are quietly failing. The exact failure happens with your SSL security certificate. It tries to auto-renew, but because the DNS zone isn't pointed correctly, the validation records bounce. Changing a name server takes 2 minutes. Ignoring it ensures your incoming visitors will eventually be hit with a massive, terrifying browser security warning. This flowchart shows the 90-day strategy for a first site. The overarching rule is simple. Separate your domain, your hosting, and your email so they can be upgraded independently. If you aren't sure this project will last a year, follow the first path. Buy the shortest billing cycle possible, insist on a cPanel host, and keep your domain at a flat-rate registrar. If you are strictly trying to keep costs down, you have to avoid the free hosting trap. Free tiers pay for themselves by stripping away your ability to export your files. Instead, pay the cheap entry-level rate for a basic shared plan. That few dollars a month retains your legal ownership and your right to pack up your data and leave. For the ambitious builder, start on shared hosting. Upgrade to a VPS only when you see sustained queuing while your server caching is active. When it is time to launch, you have exactly one priority. Confirm your name servers are pointed correctly before you build a single page. Then set a calendar alert for 2 months out. Log in and visually verify that your SSL certificate successfully auto-renewed. Planning your eventual exit on day 1 guarantees you maintain absolute control over the future of your digital business.